Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier iHypnosis Life healer coach and your personal guide. And for those of you who've been tuning in diligently and consistently for our pod, the iHypnosis Life coaching journeys, this is, of course, the podcast that is being created and curated for you so that we bring together some of the best, some of the most amazing healers and coaches across our country, people who have begun that journey from self healing, from going within, to now, of course, realizing that they have this blessing of being able to heal, being able to coach, and through their own unique um, methods, mechanisms, processes, they're able to really make a difference out there in the world. So we are, of course, at this point well into season two, and we have a really amazing guest. And in a few moments, you'll understand why. In this season, of course, we are reaching out to people who I personally may or may not have met, but the intent is that like-minded people will just gather together. And today is such an example. This is, of course, your cue, Arpita. So good to have you here. And as they say, with full disclosure, this is technically going to be our second meetup or second meeting. So you can go ahead and unmute and turn on your camera, Arpita. Firstly, warm welcome to the iHypnosis Life Coaching Journeys. And it's really good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rahul, for inviting me here. And I am really honored to be here. Thank you for inviting.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And like I said, the our intent of this podcast is to find people who are out there, in their own micro universes, making a difference. People who've been on the journey already, and today they're at a point where you know more about what you're doing. You're able to make a difference in other people's lives, and this podcast, of course, is an opportunity for other people, not only your community members, but our community members and the world at large, to get to know you better, to get to understand how you got to be here, right? Because maybe we'll start there. And in your own words, if you could share a little bit about what you do, so that'll kind of set the context. And then, of course, we'll go deeper in.
Yeah. Thank you. Uh, First of all, Rahul, I am an artist by profession, and I am a teacher.
Mm,
So I have always been teaching, and right from I did my graduation, post graduation, and I'm Sangeet Prabhakar in Indian classical. So my journey was like always have been as a teacher, because my if I look back into my childhood,
mm,
my mother, she's also a teacher. She retired as principal, and my father, he's an architect.
mm,
So my early journey, as an artist, it began from home only, because my
mm,
mom also, she's a very good hand creator.
mm,
So visiting to exhibitions, Bal Bhavan, have
mm,
always been my right from the childhood. So,
mm.
and my first teacher on painting was my
Mm.
father. He
Wow.
only taught me oil painting, what are the techniques, what are the the things like that. And I am blessed to have very good teachers, because
Mm,
I always feel, Rahul, that teachers are very, very important in your life.
mm,
So
mm,
if you get a good teacher who understands you, who can take out the positive, or whatever is your potential, that is the
mm,
role of the teacher. And I was blessed to get my very good art teacher in my school, and where I used to stay in Pashim Vihar, I used to stay, and just above my on my floor. So Now he is Padma Shri Biman Bihari Das. He's the chairman right now of IFEX. So he, I mean, it's just like family. So I always used to go, and he's a very renowned sculptor, very renowned sculptor. He's a Padma Shri.
mm,
So I used to sit along with him whenever I used to call him Kaku. So we are
mm,
Bengalis. So that
mm,
means Chacha. So
mm,
I used to sit beside him and he used to do his work. And that is how I
mm,
got this, the inclination towards painting, towards art, and towards the nitty-gritties of the thing. So that
mm,
is how my journey it started. Of course, the
mm,
family was always there.
mm,
And then, I started my career as a teacher. I joined school, and then from I used to stay in Allahabad, from Allahabad to Delhi, and since my father was in Ministry of Defense, so we had a
mm,
transferable job. So I am grown
mm,
up in all over India. So I call myself as an Indian, a
mm.
full-fledged Indian. So I'm grown up in so many areas, and so that's how was my journey from my childhood. And
Mm,
uh, I got married in Delhi, and but the passion for my painting it never stopped.
mm,
So even if
mm,
I joined a school and my music was also there, so even when I was doing, so I used to put up my shows, and then I, like in career as
mm,
I did, I started as teacher, then coordinator, then principal. So like
mm,
that I did, and then 2020 came, and
mm,
that is how the life, uh, to, it actually circled in a 360
mm,
degrees, so got opposite.
mm,
So many things changed, but yes, if you have a creative mind, you get a lot
mm,
of opportunities, and how you grab that opportunity, that depends upon you.
mm,
And 36 this 2020 actually changed my life. And when I was teaching during that time also, I was working as
mm,
a coordinator in a very reputed school, so I was very happy
mm,
there and very satisfied. But yes, um, through because I have always been on chalk and board. That
mm.
is how the traditional method of teaching we
Right.
do that. We used to do
Mm,
always that. And uh, online teaching was never not my cup of tea, because
mm,
somehow I was thinking, I mean, I was not that much tech savvy. Yes, thoda bahut mobile, and that is okay, but not that much tech savvy. So when this thing happened and we got training on how to teach through online
mm,
from the school, and suddenly it clicked that if I can teach online, then why can't I start my own venture?
mm,
And that is how it somehow it happened, and I started on teaching online painting through I started my this classes with five
mm,
students. Okay. So these five students were so motivated. Then next month I got double, tripled, and because
nice.
students, parents, they were looking for some activity
Mm,
classes during that time, because
yeah.
everybody is at home during a complete lockdown situation.
Mm,
So that is how it started,
mm,
and I started enjoying it.
nice.
I actually started enjoying, because painting has always been my passion, and
Mm,
which I was, and teaching, dealing with
mm,
students, dealing with parents and students of all age groups.
mm,
That is how it started, and I started naming it as Art Mania Worldwide.
mm,
So I did not limit it only to, my society or Delhi, NCR. No, it was now globally. So I started this venture as globally, and I started getting students from, by God's grace, from US, UK,
nice.
Dubai, Singapore. So that is how it started.
Mm,
And today, by God's grace, yes, I am able to teach many students, all
mm,
age groups, retired people, professionals, because art is something which heals.
mm.
And
True.
since I am an art therapist, so
Mm,
we do these therapies, and we try to heal the people, those who are going through traumas or some sort of depression, stress.
mm,
Children goes through lots of stress, you know.
mm,
So as a teacher, I can understand what pressure it is.
mm,
Never like, since I was a teacher, so I dealt with parents, I dealt with different level of students, like
mm,
Montessori students also. They also that is what I understood, that they also had to deal lot of stress
mm.
in a daily basis, Rahul.
Yeah.
When I used to talk to their parents, कुछ पेरेंट्स होते थे कि हाँ दे अंडरस्टैंड, कुछ होते
Mm,
हैं दे आर वर्किंग पेरेंट्स, दे डोंट हैव टाइम,
mm,
they don't have the time to talk to their child, and चाहिए कुछ तो चॉकलेट दे दिया, बच्चा रो रहा है, रिमोट दे दिया, you see. And
mm,
then when the child grows up to class 4 or 5 or 6,
mm,
and then they started blaming the child, मेरा बच्चा तो हमेशा टीवी के सामने,
mm,
दिया
mm.
किसने टीवी,
Right.
बच्चे ने तो टीवी नहीं मांगा था ना.
Mm,
So this is where, when I thought that parents need to be educated first. Parents need to understand that what wrong they are giving. Child has, it's, we cannot blame the child.
mm,
Then मेरी तो बात नहीं सुनता, टीचर आप डांटो. डांटना is not
mm,
a solution. So we have to, condition a child in such a manner that the child starts listening to you, and then it becomes a
mm,
habit. A child should
mm.
have that much of understanding where he can say no, because there are
Right.
a lot of diversions nowadays,
Mm,
right? Lots, hundreds, so many diversions. They says that they go through so much of stress, so much of peer pressure, so much of comparisons,
mm,
even the sibling comparisons.
mm. True.
So
True.
there art helps.
Mm. Beautiful.
So
So I want to ask two questions at this point because you said something very, very important. Somewhere on your journey, from art in the sort of creative space, the space of entertaining, if you want to call it that, right? Um, Somewhere from that frame, it moved to therapy. So
right,
walk us through, like what was that? Um, what created that bridge to go from I'm going to do art because I love doing it to I'm teaching it to therapy. There must have been some maybe it was a moment, maybe it was something that you experienced that kind of like gave you that insight कि हाँ therapy करना है.
right. See, I therapy अगर कोई मांगता है तो obviously हम
Mm,
करते हैं, but otherwise,
mm,
whenever I am taking a class, I
mm-hmm,
do little bit of counseling, because the
mm,
moment a child sits in front of me, or any lady or gents, anybody, so
mm,
when we talk, when we interact, we understand at what
mm,
level or what is going through the mind of the person,
right.
right?
Mm, mm,
So there, if I think that yes, the person needs some sort of counseling,
mm,
so there, all those areas also I touch while doing painting, because
mm,
colors tell us a lot about yourself. You know,
correct. Correct.
colors are something, we cannot think the world without colors.
Mm,
And
true.
I consider God to be the greatest creator, because He
Mm,
has given us everything, and we paint what God has given us. We don't have to imagine
mm,
how a tree look like.
mm,
We know how a tree look like. And
Mm.
what does an artist do? Only you need to observe.
Right.
Observation is very, very important for an artist. The
Mm.
more we say that, wow, he's a very great artist. Why do we say that? Because his observation
Uh,
power is very 100%
right.
accurate.
Mm.
Portrait, how can we get a
Mm.
portrait?
Right.
It is only observation, where the light is falling, which area the light is falling, where, how can I get that
Right.
shade, which
Mm.
color to be mixed. It is all observation.
Correct.
So if
So
you
my
have to be a good artist, you have to observe. This
right.
is one thing. And one
Correct.
more thing which I always tell my students, never
Mm.
compare with anybody, that
Mm.
मैम आपके जैसा तो नहीं बना या उसके जैसा तो नहीं बना. Always
Mm.
compare your previous work with your new work.
Correct. Correct.
So
So
that is
I'm
how you can
also
improve.
absolutely, and I understand, and I can sense your passion to talk about art, and your perspective on life, where art sort of becomes like your medium to share that. Because of course we are talking to people here, in the within the community, let's say, people who are somewhere either on that journey of personal, healing, personal growth, or they could also be further down the line, which is where they've realized that I'm meant to, I've received healing and I want to share that with the world. I maybe I'm building a business, and so I know the benefits of coaching, and now I want to share that with the world. Right? These are typically the kind of people who are also listening to your story. I'm curious to know, like, what was that pivotal moment when you realized ki, it's time to move from just art for art's sake to therapy, because it comes with its own, I'm sure there is a story behind what made you say, now is the time for me to do art therapy, which means there's a certain protocol, there's a certain way of, I'm sure you'd have gone through your journey
Hmm.
of learning what is art therapy in a more sort of
Right,
structured way, and
right,
then over a period of time you would have devised your own way of
right,
learning or taking what you learned, but teaching it in a way to other people, using it in a way that people can benefit in a therapeutic
right,
context.
right. Yeah, Rahul, exactly. My father got diagnosed with blood cancer in
Mm.
2016. Right, we got it confirmed. And when a cancer seeps into a family, you know,
Mm.
does not only affect the patient, it affects the whole
Mm.
family, right?
Mm. Mm.
So you go through a lot of changes mentally,
Mm.
physically.
Mm. Mm.
You have to run, and you get mentally completely disturbed, right?
Mm.
So when you act, that was the being the daughter, and I have to take care of my parents. So that was, the my turning point. And when I
Mm.
thought that art should heal, because I have
Mm.
always seen my father doing sketches, doing drawing, you know.
Mm.
So somehow I felt that yes, uh, my father was my motivation, you know.
Mm.
So he, life never stopped. Touchwood. Today he is. It's almost 2025 now, and he's doing well.
Mm.
And
Nice.
today we can say that he is cancer free, and
Mm.
I am
Beautiful.
blessed. It's just a miracle.
Mm.
And this thing, this actually helped me in
Mm.
when I saw my father. He, life never stopped for him. He used to
Mm.
do always daily chores, just as it you he just surrendered himself, to the doctor
Mm.
and to me, that whatever
Mm.
decision I take and whatever the doctor takes, so
Mm.
no stress at all. So I learned that thing from my father. And that was the moment when I, and my father used to know, he creates a lot of whatever, like whether a furniture, or he makes it himself,
Wow.
very creative person. So this thing never stopped, even if he was not well and he was doing his
Mm.
chemos going on, and life was as normal as whatever pain he was going through, that is
Sure.
separate. But yes, when he was fine, he was again
Mm.
into his daily course. So this
Beautiful.
inspired me that life
Mm.
should never stop.
Mm.
And if art can heal, so
Mm.
I saw it healing my father.
Mm.
And then I thought that I should do some course, a professional course for
Mm.
this art therapy, which I did,
Wow.
and how mandalas can help,
Mm.
how collage work can help, how coloring can help, what are the meanings of various colors,
Mm.
which color will give you that calmness, or maybe a self portrait, how what is going on, and whatever,
Mm.
how you can read the colors if a child is showing some tantrums. So how you can read their stories,
Mm.
just by telling them. So that is how I started learning about it. And then, of course, counseling, and this has always been my profession, so did not take much time to understand and connect these two
Mm.
things. So
Mm.
that is how it started. But yes,
Wow.
um, uh, it was my father who actually inspired me
Amazing.
in doing and taking my decision.
Mm.
And today
Wow.
he's also very happy, and I'm also very happy.
Yeah. Now it's beautiful to hear your story because two on two fronts. One is that he was there at the first level where you were introduced to art, and through his own life story, a second time round, you were introduced to art at a deeper level, where you felt that drive to that calling to understand how you could use it in a therapeutic context, in a healing
Right,
context.
right.
Right?
And
It's
also
really
one thing,
beautiful.
Rahul,
Hmm. Hmm.
when this thing I started applying, whatever I learned, I started
Mm.
applying it practically on over my students. I got few ADHD
Mm.
cases, so they were very hyper students. And one, one child
Mm.
was dyslexic, one person who was deaf and dumb, who could only see me, you know. And when I started getting, the results from their academically, their parents used to say, "Ki,
Mm.
ma'am, the moment they have started doing
Mm.
art with you, so they have started improving in their maths, in their other subjects also."
Wow.
Why?
Mm.
Because this improves your concentration level, because you are sitting here
Mm.
and you are concentrating, you are listening to me, and your eye hand coordination, your creativity.
Mm.
And I give open space to my children to think,
Mm.
to do whatever is coming to your mind, do it. Okay, so
Mm.
that open space is very, very required. So that is how, if art can heal, art can also do
Mm.
lot of changes scientifically. It
Mm.
changes because it
Mm.
calms you, you know.
Mm.
So when
Mm.
parents started saying कि मैम आजकल तो ये खुद ही लेके बैठ जाते हैं, बच्चे खुद लेके अपने
Mm.
पेंटिंग करने बैठ जाते हैं, पहले तो बोलना पड़ता
Mm.
था. And then
Mm.
nowadays CBSE has also done lot of art based, everything is art based, no. So
Right.
it helps the
Mm.
students to be creative, because we always have a logical brain and a analytical brain and a creative brain.
Mm.
So
Mm.
how much we are working on the creative brain. Even a data scientist, they are also very creative. It's not that
Yeah.
unless and until they are creative, they cannot do anything.
Mm.
They cannot create anything new.
Mm.
So creativity is there, even if you are cooking, even if you are doing anything, there is
Mm.
creativity, and that is how you can stand out from the crowd, unless
Right.
and until you have a creative mind.
Right. Beautiful. So, just for our listeners and people who are, following along, as you said, your journey began. This would have been when you were introduced to art. You were around about what age? Was it like?
By my father, I was in
Mm,
class 6, 7,
okay, yeah. So just
when
in
I
like a
started with my oil
10.
painting. oil painting.
Mm.
When I started with
Mm.
my oil painting, but yes, craft work, I
Was
don't
throughout.
remember, right, from my
Nice.
yeah, small kid.
Beautiful. Beautiful. No, and the reason why I'm asking this and pointing it out is it's like sometimes we forget, like, and the reason also why this podcast exists is to show people that the person that you're seeing in front of you, I'm sure there will be your students who will be watching this as well. um, for them, they see this version of you that has sort of, like in their eyes, it's like you've got it all figured out, right? You know what you're doing, you know how you're doing it. But a lot of times people forget that this expertise takes time, and it's through all the twists and turns that your skill, your resilience, the person that you are, that is shaped over a lifetime,
Hmm.
right? So when that's why I even asked you this question, like, if you go back in time and you trace your antecedents, like, this is basically where, like you said, it's so far back that you can't even remember when it was the art and craft, that it was just part and parcel. It was just like you were living and breathing it. And then, of course, in your teens or preteens, that's when you started to look at, more seriously with the oils, and that sort of like started the journey. And in your, let's say, when you did your degree, did you focus on art specifically, or was it other subjects that you looked at?
Yeah, that there's, I think, there was a twist there, because
There we go.
again, the parental mindset,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
पेंटिंग
Mm,
में कुछ नहीं है, वो तो हॉबी
right.
है, you know.
पेंटिंग में
So
पैसा नहीं है, वो तो हॉबी है.
वो तो हॉबी है. So
Right.
yes, that is how. And my I still, now my parents say, your art teacher came to my house and he said कि ये लड़की आप मुझे दे दो, I will train him, आप उसको मत डालो उसमें. But
Mm,
no. So I did my graduation and post graduation in economics.
wow.
So economics was my subject,
Right.
and then B.Ed, of course. Then Sangeet. Sangeet,
Mm,
yes, a classical singer. I did my Sangeet Prabhakar from Prayag Sangeet
mm,
Samiti. So I teach also Indian
mm.
classical as well, painting
Beautiful.
and music, both I teach.
Amazing. Mm,
And that is the reason, Rahul. I have started. I also do a talk show which is called
mm,
Art Ki Baatein, where I also interview various senior personalities
mm,
from the art field only, whether they
mm,
are visual artists or performing artists,
mm.
because art is a huge
Right.
field. It can be
True.
singer, dancer, instrumentalist,
Yeah.
theater artist. So that is the reason why I want those who want to pursue
Mm,
this as a career. So the first thing is that they need to listen to those people, because nothing comes on a golden plate. So you
mm,
need to be consistent. You need to be patient in every field, whatever field you want to have. So you need
mm,
to listen to those senior peoples, because everybody had a lot of struggle. They had to they had
mm,
to go through a lot
mm,
of struggle, and whatever we see them in whichever position they are now, they had
mm,
to undergo a lot of stress, struggle, and
mm,
a lot of fight, right?
mm,
So if you have to work hard, and if you remain consistent and don't get
mm,
demotivated, so
mm,
need to listen. That is the reason that there is scope. It is not like that things have changed,
mm,
every scenario has changed, so they have a lot of scope in painting if you want to take it up as a career.
mm. So let me pause you there for one reason.
Yes.
You said you did your degree, you did your master's in economics.
Hmm.
So there would have definitely been a shift from, like, now, okay, you had a career path, so to speak. If you've done economics, you could go a certain number of directions. Purely, if you had intended to work, you could have gone
Yes.
that direction. But then something happened, because instead, you, like you said, you did your B.Ed, and then you focused on music, and of course, you had the art that you had been developing for decades by then. Um, did you always know that you were intending or that you would be a teacher, or was there like what's the story behind that? Because very few people will just choose, okay, I'm going to do my B.Ed, right? Like with the intention that you become a professional teacher. So what was the story
Yeah,
behind that?
I'll tell you. See, I always wanted to be a teacher because I
Okay.
never happened to be a teacher, और
Mm,
जस्ट कि ये दोनों चीज संभालना इज इजी एंड बाय चांस आई बिकेम अ टीचर नो आई
mm,
ऑलवेज वांटेड टू बी अ टीचर so because I found I have always felt that importance of teacher is very important in anybody's life,
right.
you know. So
Mm,
that is the reason why I thought that yes, I may become a good teacher. So I never I never had any doubt, you know, in my mind.
mm,
I always wanted to become a teacher. My maybe my grandfather was a professor in Delhi
mm,
College of Engineering, and my nanaji, he was a professor in Delhi College of Engineering.
mm,
My Mama ji was also from teaching background and a reader
mm,
and had written a lot of books and all. So, you know, like my mother,
right.
she's always a teacher. So somehow
Mm,
it was there that it's not like that I saw them and then I thought, but yes, it
right.
was there in me that I
Yeah.
can do good for others. You know,
Mm,
something was
mm,
there in me
mm,
that I wanted to serve people, and whatever is
mm,
my knowledge, and that is what I do today also. Whatever I have learned so far,
mm,
whatever knowledge I have, so I just want to give it to others, and that is what I am doing in whatever way I can do.
right.
So it was there maybe.
Mm,
So
okay. So
it was
it's
not
sort
by
of like,
chance.
as I say, it's
It
in the
was
blood,
not by
right?
chance. I
Uh,
wanted to be a teacher.
exactly. Exactly. So I'm still curious that what made you not go into, say, becoming a professor of economics, which would be sort of like the obvious direction, and instead you chose art over economics. So what was that story like?
Okay, economics I never liked.
Okay.
I did it because my it was a subject that was something which is there connected because it has stats. So that has always I
Mm,
was interested in that. I was good
okay.
at maths, reasonably good, not too good, but yes, reasonably
Mm,
good. So I was interested. I took
mm,
science in my 10th, after my 10th, in 11th, 12th. I had
mm,
bio also, I had maths also.
mm,
And I was a good student. So from here, I started. We got posted to Shiliguri, and there I
mm,
got admission in from Delhi. I was there in Delhi, 11th and 12th. After 12th, we got shifted to Shiliguri, and there I
mm,
took my admission in maths honors. So, but then, you know, like in India also we have different, timings for education and things like
mm,
that. So there, North Bengal University, and then again father got posted to Chandigarh.
mm,
So again a shift,
right.
and there were certain rules in Punjab University. So I had to shift from my BSc Maths to BA because there
Okay.
was some examination which I missed because of the transfer.
Mm,
So that is how things happened. So I had to do some sort of compromises in my subject. So whatever subjects I got, so I had my geography and economics. So out of all the subjects, economics was the subject which I felt that yes, I like. Out of all these, I like economics because I have never studied
mm,
art subjects. No, I was a science student.
mm, mm,
So but करना है तो करना है.
mm,
So mm, so that is how I did post graduation करना है and
Mm,
संगीत प्रभाकर करना ही है. So everything I had to balance.
right.
So that is how. But yes, economics post graduation I did, but then I had
Mm,
no intention of doing it further.
mm,
So after that, I thought that no, that's enough. Now I'll again move whatever my parents have said. मैंने कर लिया. Now I'll do
um,
what I like.
right. That's what I was. That's beautiful. Thank you for saying that. Because again, for those of you who've been tracking Arpita's story, it's like now you have an idea of what was her path, right? Maybe it was traditional, semi-traditional, sort of had the offbeat and yet traditional. Now you've reached that point, which is a very typical story that happens in most people's lives, especially people who want to pursue the path of coaching and mentoring and
Right.
wanting to be there for other people. One part is that inner calling where you say acha theek hai, abhi tak I have followed what you wanted, now it's my turn to listen to my inner voice, right? And
Right.
so obviously that led you on a certain path. Like you said, there was music that professionally, when I say professionally, as in you looked at certifications, you studied that, you absorbed that, and that sort of became part of what you do. And then, as you also mentioned, somewhere I'm guessing between 2016 and 2018 was where you also studied how to use art in the context of therapy, right?
Right. Right.
I also understand that in a different context because in 2018 my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. So, and you said that when there is an illness, especially or a disease like cancer, it's not just that one person that goes through it, it's the entire family that has that experience, so it can create those kind of ripples. So I completely get what you said, that it shapes your perspective on the work that you're doing. Also, for the purposes of this podcast, I'd love for you to share what was it like. It's like almost like everything in this point had led up to a point which was a global moment, right? So all of us had parallel journeys that were preparing us for 2020.
Hmm.
Yeah, especially as coaches, as healers, our life stories were preparing us for 2020, where things kind of changed. For most of us, we are not doing exactly what we used to before
Hmm.
COVID.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'd love for you to share, maybe an anecdote or two of how what you were doing till COVID changed after COVID.
What I was doing before COVID.
In
I
so the way
was
you were
very,
teaching and
I was happy with whatever I was doing.
mm,
Right. I was getting a good salary, and
mm,
my kids were small, and
mm,
somehow I was satisfied as a mother, as a teacher, as a job, as I was able to take care of
mm,
my kids also, and my family,
mm,
and my job. And I was enjoying my job also, because my subject was also painting. I used to teach 11, 12. 9 to 12, I had painting as a subject that I used to teach. And so it was like, so I was enjoying my job as well. But when this thing happened, 2020, so after,
yeah,
yeah,
step back.
okay.
Yeah.
So
So
I
you,
was just telling you that I was happy. I was doing my job. I was taking care of my family also. So I was somewhere satisfied with whatever I was doing. Uh,
mm,
but my happiness somehow was there when I used to take up my brush and my canvas, and when I used to put up my shows, which due to a lot of
mm,
other responsibilities, maybe I was not getting that much time, you know So, am I audible?
Mm.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay.
You are. You
So,
are.
yeah, I am. So, I was just telling
Yeah.
you that before COVID time, so I was enjoying with whatever I was doing. But when this COVID thing happened
Mm.
and I started thinking of taking my own venture, and believe me, Rahul, it actually changed everything because
Mm.
your own work and the work that you love, if you whatever is your passion, if through that, if that becomes
Mm.
your source of earning, that gives a lot of satisfaction. And exactly my
Mm.
how my COVID period went, when I was dealing with so many people, every time meeting new people, talking to them, knowing about their
Mm.
culture, knowing about their lifestyle of different countries, different people, different societies. So how this thing changed my life, I myself could not realize that. It
Mm.
was just, I just thank God for that, that my
Mm.
mental health was so good. And this is what, when I also work on mental health issues as well, where I give talks.
Mm. Mm.
It's a NGO called Year to Hear, that where we talk
Mm.
on mental health. Because what I realized that mental health is very, very important to keep your physical health healthy. Unless and until you are happy, and you being the woman of the, or the lady of the family, you know so if
Mm.
you are not happy, you cannot keep
Mm.
anybody else happy, right? So even if you are
Mm.
doing whatever work you are doing, and you are saying मैं तो सुबह से काम कर रही हूँ, काम कर रही हूँ, काम कर रही हूँ, and you are not giving time to yourself, that means you
Right.
are not happy. Give
Mm.
time to yourself. Whatever you like, whatever you love to
Mm.
do, at least an hour a day.
Mm.
Unless and until you are happy, you cannot spread happiness to others, not even to your next family. That
Mm.
is very important, and this is something which I learned.
Mm.
And through course of time, this, life only teaches us the lessons, right? So we
True. True.
learn through our experiences that this is
Mm.
important. But yes, some people understand what they have to do next, but some people, they don't
Yeah.
understand, and they live the life the way it is. So there my work
Mm.
starts to make them understand
Mm.
whatever I have gone through. I don't want, if I come across to some other person, I don't want that person should suffer.
Mm.
So if I can do something to make a person happy, I become
Mm.
more happy. That is what I do.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So I mean, as I said, the intention is to chronicle your journey, and we've now obviously reached the present as from where we began. We've had a beautiful ringside view of some of the moments in your life that have shaped who you are and what you do today. And one can obviously tell that you're very passionate about the work that you're doing, and you really want to make that difference in the world. And you've chosen to do activities, to create programs that can help people on that path. um, Maybe we'll spend a little bit of time if you could tell us a little bit about what are some of the programs that you're running currently, so that for people who are listening and they're like, okay, how can I connect with Arpita? I want to be benefited by all the things that Arpita has learned. Maybe there's a program that you're running or something that at present can help people on that journey. So could you share a little bit about what is it that you're currently working on?
Sure. Rahul, my platform, it's a global platform, uh,
Mm,
and it's a completely online platform for
mm,
learning painting, singing,
mm,
dance,
mm,
French. We have
mm.
started with other segments
Nice,
also.
nice.
So self defense for girls. So those who want to, and everything is online, and this is open for all age groups, right from 5 years to
Mm,
any age group. Okay,
mm,
so singing also we have classical and light music. Painting we have lot of courses, like we have short term courses, 3 month short
mm,
term courses. Some people who only wants to learn sketching. Okay, and it is open for all levels. Like if you are at a beginner's level or
mm,
intermediate level, or even if you want to
mm,
do advanced level, so courses are there for them. We are
mm,
affiliated from Surbharti Sangeet Kala Kendra, and where you get diploma, and also from Prayak Sangeet Samiti for Sangeet, if you want to learn Sangeet for
mm,
classical. And we organize a lot of exhibitions of our students' work.
mm,
We work with our students, artists also, and outside artists also, because our platform is open for
mm,
all artists. So we organize a lot of competitions for outside artists also, professional artist, emerging artist,
mm,
student artist, for everyone. And also we hold a talk show. As I said, that if anybody wants to join our platform, we are just a call away. And my website is Art Mania Worldwide. Even if you can
mm.
Google Art Mania
Yeah.
Worldwide, you'll be able to see all
So,
the.
also for reference, all your details have been shared, so that not only people who are watching this now, but whenever they come across your video, they will get access to all your links, so they can definitely reach out to you. And as I said, the intention of the this podcast is to help more people connect with you,
And
so
one more
that
thing,
your.
I just want to add on, Rahul.
Mhm,
Here, I am very happy that the ladies, few ladies, those who have learned
mm,
painting from me, now they have started selling their painting, and they have started their
nice,
living, and they have also
nice.
started teaching. So
Mm,
they are becoming financially independent, and that is where
mm,
I feel that yes, I am able to give something back to the society.
right. Beautiful.
So,
Beautiful.
so I'm happy.
So I have a slightly different. Go ahead. Sorry, I missed
No,
that
no,
last part.
that's it. Continue.
No, no. Go ahead. Complete what you were saying.
No,
I
I'm
kind of
I'm happy.
crossed over
So
your
I'm
words.
I'm happy. That gives me a lot of satisfaction that
Yes.
I'm able to give at least some happiness
Mm,
to some families,
mm,
and I'll keep
awesome.
doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I mean, the passion is something that I think most coaches and healers who are on this journey, they will connect with you on this. And that is what brings us into this space, to be in a position to make a difference in other people's lives. But I have a slightly sort of semi controversial subject to explore with you, and
Mhm.
we'll just kind of see where this leads. It's kind of like part of my personal mission as well. There are two parts to it, right? One is a one we'll come to in a second, but just wanted to get a sense from you, especially post COVID, where when you're on this journey of wanting to be a coach and a healer, it's also important to build the business side of things, right?
Mhm.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on what has been your journey. So have you gone into learning about digital marketing, and if so, what has been that journey for you? Because I know it will help others who are also learning these skills of building the business.
Yes, that is very, very important, Rahul. Unless and until you learn yourself, you explore the
Mm,
things yourself.
mm,
Dependence, you cannot depend on everything on others.
mm,
So
mm,
I started learning. And thanks to my kids, it's
mm,
my both my children. They taught me lot of things, and I learned from them
mm,
how I can edit my videos, how
mm,
professional videos. Like
mm,
I edit my own videos. So
mm,
then how to do the recordings and how to work on some apps, everything my children, my kids. So my sons, they only taught me all these technicalities. So how I
Mm,
can go about it, digital marketing. Then yes, I hired professionals, but I
mm,
created the website, and that was important. But yes, my sons,
mm,
they have always guided me that you should now do this, you should now do this.
mm,
So I have always been a learner, you know, like मुझे
mm,
जो भी जहां से भी कोई मुझे कुछ सीखने को मिल जाता है, so I
mm.
sit there and I
Ah,
learn. So, and
beautiful.
till date I'm learning. So my students, I learn
Mm,
so many things from my students. So
mm,
I cherish that, and that is how you build,
mm,
because knowledge is something, the more you give, the more you gain, right?
mm,
So and
mm.
knowledge is,
True.
छोटा सा बच्चा भी आपको बहुत कुछ सिखा जाता है,
बिल्कुल,
you know.
बिल्कुल।
Only thing
So
is
एक
you
और
should have that
हुँ,
need to learn, you know. You shouldn't
हुँ,
have that ego कि ये क्या मुझे सिखाएगा, है ना. So
beautiful.
that should
So
be
I
there.
have another question for you, which is what a lot of coaches and healers will be thinking of. Ki, it's like how does Arpita do it, right? Meaning, one part of having a business is where you have more and more clients, more and more students, right? Since you're teaching, a lot
Yeah.
of it is also about having more students. So having now done this for the length of time that you have, could you share some of the things that work for you to be able to get more and more students on a ongoing basis? Like what are some of the things that you do? Like you mentioned, you have a website and things like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
um, you also mentioned digital marketing.
Hmm.
So in uh, your
My
special
um,
sauce, what do you do?
my special thought is, first thing, that your platform will work for you is
Mm,
basically you, your thought
mm,
process,
mm,
your way of teaching.
mm,
That is your knowledge.
mm,
That is very important.
mm,
बाकी सब डिजिटल मार्केटिंग है और है, इट्स ओके, बट
mm,
वर्ड ऑफ माउथ, you know, what you
mm.
are giving to others, you will get it back, because your students are only bringing other students for you.
Right.
So all right, we promote also, we get a lot
Mm,
of new ones also, but the word of mouth is the best thing, because
right.
now, since my platform is a little grown up, touchwood, by
Mm.
God's grace, so I have hired other teachers also, because
Oh, nice.
everything I cannot teach alone, right? So
Correct.
I have
Mm,
teachers for my light music, I have teachers for French,
mm.
I have teacher for self defense. So
Nice.
I personally take some senior classes for art, or those who want to go for the advanced, you
Mm,
know, and fabric painting. I do a lot of courses. As I said, it is fluid art. There are different courses. Fluid art I take because my forte is fluid. So I
mm,
work in a lot of fluid, because I love to
mm,
play with colors, you know. So that is the reason. Fluid art is a course, alcohol ink, then fabric
mm.
painting. So all these are professional courses,
Right.
right?
Mm,
So all these things, but then you need some hands also,
right.
and also you need your like-minded people like you, those
Mm,
who can think like you. You cannot
mm,
hire just like that, you know.
mm.
So
Right.
for that also, your thought process should match
Mm,
whatever is your intention.
mm,
Anybody who is joining your platform should come with a good intention, the intention that you have.
mm.
Otherwise,
Nice.
you know, everything will go away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like I said, the other question, of course, is I'd love to hear your thoughts on community. Right? You briefly alluded to it, but if you could tell us a little bit about, because any coach, any healer that wants to build the business, one part of that is also having community. So you've obviously been doing this now for quite some time. So if you could share with us, what are your thoughts on community?
See, art, if I talk about art, I don't know about anything else. So those who
Hmm.
want to learn,
Sure.
painting.
mm,
Painting, if I talk about just one course, so we go to all extents, since it is a global platform, and
mm,
we go to anybody to any extent, like all age groups, retired person, housewives,
mm,
homemakers, corporate. So we give lot of workshops. That is how we do. We go to different schools, we give our talks.
mm,
Okay, and that is how we get sort of, we keep doing things. Unless and until you keep doing things, you won't get connected to people.
mm,
So the main thing
mm,
for building community is you have to connect to the people.
mm,
And for that, you have to go out sometimes, or online workshops to corporates,
mm.
to societies, and build
Right.
your community.
Mm, mm,
Okay, so you also need to work hard for that.
mm. Got that. Let me
Okay,
ask you from
that's
the other side, which is one is, as you said, to you build being the one building the community. If so for example, someone's watching this and they're like, okay, interesting. I've always thought about art. Maybe as a child, I wanted to. I've not done it for all this while, and now maybe this is that moment for me to join Arpita's community. Give us a sense of what happens when people are in your community. Like what will they experience? Is it just that, okay, I show up, I do my classes, and I go away, or is there like a community? Is there like people who I can
it's a
connect
relation
with?
that I built. It's
Mm,
a relation.
mm,
It is something, and by God's grace, 2020 I started this.
mm, mm.
Till date, this day one, those five students, they are still there with me.
Wow.
So it cannot happen that unless and until they are getting benefited, they are still connected with
Mm,
me.
mm,
So I feel happy that at least I am able to make some changes. And yes, and when they come and share ki ma'am,
mm,
they have won this prize, and now they are doing this, and maybe they are getting excellent things in their school, and
mm,
they're getting
mm.
benefited because they have learned art from
Right.
me. So I think that is my award. So
Mm, right.
what does a teacher wants?
Mm,
A
beautiful.
teacher always wants the student to excel.
Mm, yeah. Yeah.
आपसे भी ज्यादा बढ़ के आपके बच्चे, आपके स्टूडेंट्स जाए.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That is
Very
what
true.
a teacher is.
Yeah. So, just a few questions as we slowly start to wrap this particular pod. But one thing I wanted to understand and what I'd love for you to maybe share with people, you've spent your life building this over a period of time, and today you're, helping so many people. You're working with so many people. You're, promoting art and craft, and as you said, there's self-defense, there's music, and so many of these aspects that are important in our life. Is there something that you'd love to share with the audience, that will inspire them, especially coaches and healers who are maybe they're just starting off? Is there something that you'd from your experiences that you'd love to share with them, something that can keep them
I
going?
would only say one thing, Rahul, that um, it is, you need to be consistent in whatever you are
Mm,
doing. First of all, you need to identify what exactly you want to do.
mm,
Okay, and it is just your inner self. Ask yourself. Just
mm,
don't see what others are doing, how much they are earning,
mm,
whatever they are doing. Never ever compare. वो
mm.
यहाँ इसके साथ कंपेयर करोगे, वो और ऊपर होगा. So
Right.
this, it's baseless, and
Mm,
that will give you a lot of stress.
mm,
All right.
mm,
So whatever you are doing, you need to be satisfied for that.
mm,
And what is your level of satisfaction? That answer is also will lie inside you only. You only
mm,
have to ask yourself. But whatever you want to do, be consistent, have patience, and keep doing work. ये नहीं कि यार कुछ
mm,
हो तो रहा नहीं है, 2-4 साल लग गए, अभी तक तो कुछ
Right.
हो नहीं रहा है, क्या
Mm.
उससे अच्छा तो हम जॉब ही कर लेते हैं. It's not like that. What
Right.
I have always felt that whatever affirmations you give yourself, it
Mm.
works.
Mm.
And if you don't believe yourself, then leave it. If you don't have any faith on yourself, then don't
Mm.
go ahead.
Mm.
But that understanding, you need
Mm.
to understand. जब हम खुद को ही नहीं समझ पाएंगे, हम सामने वाले को क्या समझेंगे? You know.
True, true, true.
So whatever you are doing, whatever is
Mm.
your forte, just explore that.
Mm.
Get educated, get lot of trainings, and
Mm.
because knowledge is very important.
Right.
So unless and until you are knowledgeable, see, when the moment you open your mouth, कोई सामने वाला भी आपको समझता
Mm.
है ना? So
Mm.
everybody is learned enough. So you cannot make anybody bluff whatever you are doing. कि सिर्फ बात
Right.
बात बात. Doesn't happen like this. The
Mm.
moment you open your mouth, everybody will understand how much you are in water or whether you are above the water, right?
Beautiful. Yeah.
So knowledge is very important.
Mm.
Utilize that, use that, and
Mm.
be consistent, be patient. And if you will
Amazing.
love your passion, money will, don't run after money. Money
Mm.
will come for you only. You just
Mm.
keep working. Money will come on its own way.
Right.
So I believe in
Superb.
that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's the intention, right? That you're talking from your perspective, and that's what matters. And when people hear you like this, it a lot of times it strengthens their belief in their journey. So as we start to wrap up, of course, maybe one final question: if there is any particular program or something that you're currently driving and that you'd like more people to participate in, do share that. As I said, your links, of course, are all there in. It's when this is up on YouTube, people will be able to access you from there. This is also available on Facebook, and we're also, you will see this live on LinkedIn as well. So people can will definitely be able to find you on different platforms. But if there's any other, maybe if there is a program or a book, something that you're right now pursuing, if and you'd
My
like more people to access it.
my new batches are coming up for new art class, painting
Mm,
classes and sketching
mm,
classes. So two
got it.
new batches are coming up, and also fabric painting. I'm coming up with
Mm,
new batches in the morning time, 11 o'clock onwards, anytime.
mm,
And we
mm,
have a lot of other batches, so accordingly they can join. And
perfect.
from 1st of March, we are starting with the new batches. So
Awesome.
anybody who wants to enroll, they can, yeah,
Mm.
just a call away.
Amazing. So, like I said, depending on when people see this, they have something to look forward to. And the links are also there so people can come join your communities and get to know you better. And the intention, as I was mentioning at the beginning, is this is another way for people to connect with you, Arpita, and to get to know you, to get to know your journey and be inspired by you. Also, for coaches and healers who are out there, people who I lovingly call healer coaches. People who are looking for that inspiration to keep going, because it's one part is passion, the other is the inspiration. And so sometimes when you hear
And
other
one more
people's
thing,
stories. Hmm.
is the
Hmm.
support of the family. That is
Mm,
also very important. If your family supports you, then you can go to any extent. Your husband, your
yeah,
children,
yeah,
your
yeah. That
parents,
support system is so
and
important
blessed to have all of them.
in staying the course, right? So, with that, as we start to wrap, firstly, Arpita, thank you for taking the time to come on this
Thank you.
iHypnosis coaching journeys. And of course, we will be doing more of these podcasts with the intention of, for those of you out there as healers and coaches, to keep staying connected to your passion and to continue to be inspired. So may you also, Arpita, continue to be inspired and keep inspiring other people who are out there. So thank you for taking your time. And for
Thank
those of
you.
you,
And Rahul, you are doing an excellent job where you are
thank you.
inviting and taking out of the people their Wow, you are making them talk. Maybe I had forgotten. So, I mean, today I actually went back to my childhood. So,
Mm,
it was just a great journey that I, did throughout this 1 hour with you. Thank you so much for inviting me,
my pleasure.
and all the best to you. Lots of blessings,
Thank you so
lots of
much.
good wishes to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Arpita. And for those of you who are watching, just a reminder, as always, keep doing what you're doing and remember to live your purpose. God bless. And of course, we will be back with more podcasts, more of these. We have a solo pod. You can obviously catch us on YouTube and other channels. And even this now is available on multiple channels. So go out, support Arpita in the work that she's doing. And if you happen to be a healer and a coach, just remember that it's your purpose that's driving you. So, as always, remember to live your purpose. God bless. And of course, I will see you in the next one. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye. Take care.